Bulldogs trailing 20-13. Robinson's pass thrown incomplete. He was under extreme pressure. Scott Brantley, 55, was firing at him, and he just simply could not deliver the ball.
Here's number 55, Brantley again. Just a freshman, and I'll tell you this, he's a real tough football player. He is wiping off to the side of the pass, puts the heat on. Kimes, or Robinson rather, Matt Robinson, puts him on his back.
71 in the play was Michael Dupree for Florida. Second down and 10. Robinson to throw again. Oh! Blindsided by number 4, Alvin Parrish. Fumble, Florida recovered. Nobody saw Mr. Parrish coming, and that is a cornerback's dream right there.
We put a little tattoo on him there. Woo, did he hit him. He didn't see him coming. Boy, that blindside tackle is really vicious.
Alvin Parrish covered the ball for Florida. And suddenly, Georgia's threatening, but one big play defensively, and Florida's got the ball back. First down at the 33. You'll very seldom see a harder hit than that. Wes Chandler wide to the left side. Gators leading 20-13. Fisher. And the Florida quarterback runs it outside the 40 to the 42. Watch number 4 come whistling in here now and make the hit.
They have a blitz on. Watch Alvin Parrish. Yeah, come from the backside. Robinson does not see him. And look at his head rattle, and the ball comes loose. It's one of those blindside things. You could see from upstairs here that they were going to blitz. They went into man-to-man coverage on it.
Dupree recovered the loose football. Florida now second down. 1 yard to go from the 41-yard line. It is Earl Carr. And Carr's got the first down as he jukes one Georgia defender and gets out to the 44-yard line. So here come the Gators again, leading by 7, and here's Bill.
Okay, Bo Schemberger said he wanted a close game. He's got one. Ricky Leach passed 64 yards to Jim Smith for Michigan's go-ahead touchdown, 14-13. And in that game now, there's 12 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the fourth quarter at West Lafayette.
Oh, good ball game. Here's Fisher rolling to throw. Throws it out there to Chandler. It's incomplete. Chandler working in front of number 41, Bobby Thompson, but Fisher couldn't get enough heat on the ball to get it to him.
About 126 left. Let's look for some screens and draws possibly in here. And, of course, I think they're going to put it up and throw the ball. I think Fisher's going to throw it. That time, it looked like somebody might have deflected the ball. He didn't have anything on it.
Scott Schuler comes in, number 19. He's a wide receiver for Florida. 1:28 to go in the first half. There's your broken bone lineup. Fisher rolls out. Goes down the middle, and it is intercepted by Mark Mitchell of Georgia. And he comes back to the 43-yard line. So we've had 2 big defensive plays, one for each side. And we've got a man hurt. Looks like Mitchell is down. So with 1 minute and 19 seconds to play, let's have another look.
There's Mark Mitchell. They call him the smallest of the runts. That's what they call him. They call him the Junkyard Dogs and Ronnie and the Runts. And you see Mark Mitchell, the littlest guy on that whole group, picks the ball off and comes back with good field position.
1:19 to go, 20-13, Florida.
Last year, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department put a brand new specially equipped 76 Chevy Nova through 24 different tests of durability, performance, and efficiency. When all the tests were over, the LASD placed the largest single order for compact police cars in U.S. history and selected the Chevrolet Nova. Besides performance, they tested Nova for things that are important to every car owner in 1977. For mechanical integrity, comfort, maintenance costs, and expected repair costs. Other law enforcement agencies are checking out Nova too. And last year, Nova became the largest selling compact police car in America. The same people that built these Novas for the police build 3 Nova models for you to drive. And when you get right down to it, a lot of the things the police look for in a car are the same things you look for in the car you drive home. The size, the value, the durability you want in today's cars. You never needed Nova more.
Well, we have 1 minute and 19 seconds to play in the first half of this ball game. Total yards, Georgia 191, Florida 194. The score is 20-13. And down on the floor of the Gator Bowl, it's first down Georgia at their own 43-yard line. Matt Robinson, the quarterback, under pressure, loops it out to McClendon. McClendon with open field. McClendon breaks it all the way down to the Florida 33-yard line. First down, Bulldogs.
Up and down the field this afternoon. This is two offensive ball clubs.
24 yards on the play. Alvin Cowens, number 24, finally brought him down. They stopped the clock to move the chains, except they haven't really. The clock's continued to run, and they're supposed to stop it when they're moving the chains. No, the blimp isn't coming inside the stadium. That's just the perspective. A fumble! Robinson did not get away with the snap cleanly. Has to dive in and recover. Ken Helms is now in at the center position for Georgia, number 53, replacing Joe Tarashinsky. So you get a new center or you get a new quarterback, or if you get both, then you can have that kind of trouble. Timeouts remaining in the ball game. Florida 3, Georgia 2, 44 seconds to play, and Ohio State leading Illinois 21-0. So Bo Schembechler had said a week ago that he would like to have his Michigan Wolverines get tested, get into a ball game where they'd have to scratch, and they're certainly having to do that today at Purdue. We'll be right back with more from the Gator Bowl.
Next Saturday on ABC, an outstanding NCAA football doubleheader, beginning with a regional lineup headlined by Alabama versus Notre Dame. Check local listings for the game in your area, followed by Texas A&M against Arkansas on ABC.
It will be now second down and 11 yards to go for the Georgia Bulldogs at the Florida 34-yard line with 44 seconds to play in the first half. Matt Robinson back to throw. Throws short to McClendon. Missed him. So it'll be third down and 11. And here are some more scores at Penn State. Looks like Joe Paterno is getting his people out of the hospital and getting them well again. 27-7 over North Carolina State. Maryland and Cincinnati as the Terrapins roll along undefeated. Oklahoma and Kansas State, first quarter score. And a couple of big ball games out in that Big 8 conference that Bill Fleming will document as the day wears on, particularly the one between Oklahoma State and Nebraska. Third down. 11. McClendon in motion. Pollard stays back to block. Robinson's pass is away, and it is intercepted by LeCount of Florida. LeCount is looking for a wall.
Look out.
One block, he may go. Nope, can't get it. Pollard finally knocks him out of bounds with 21 seconds to play. The Florida Gators intercept it as LeCount brings it all the way back inside midfield to the Georgia 43. Ulysses Norris was the intended receiver. The pass was underthrown, enabling LeCount to cut in front, and there's the young man you talked about as helping shore up the secondary for Florida.
Not only that, but you take a split receiver. He was a former wideout, which has good hands, and he made a great interception there, like a reception.
Quick recovery by Florida to form the blocking. Fisher over the middle. The pass is complete to Stevens, and Jimmy Stevens is down to the Georgia 8-yard line. The clock stops with 13 seconds to play. Oh, my. A lot of things happening here in the last minute and a half, and Florida calls time.
Fisher comes right back to the pocket. Jimmy Stevens, goes right straight through the heart of the defensive secondary, and Fisher lays it right in there. He had to throw over top of the defenders. The ball drops right into Stevens' hands right here. He makes a great catch. Goes down to the 13-yard line. Is this an up-and-down game? Up and down the field.
Johnny Henderson and Bill Krug. Krug was the man that just wasn't tall enough to slap it away. He needed that kind of height. 13 seconds to play in the first half. Florida leading 20-13. Georgia was threatening. Now suddenly 2 big plays, bang, bang, and Florida is down on the Georgia 9-yard line, first and goal to go. Florida should get out of here with probably at least 3 points. We'll see.
They have 2 timeouts left, or 3. No, they have 2 timeouts. Yeah.
Posey 7 out of 14 in his field goals. From there, it'd be a chip shot for it.
They have time for just 1 player. Let's see what happens.
Fisher to throw it. Looking for Chandler. Wide open. Johnny Henderson fell down, and that left Chandler absolutely alone, and Florida jumps to a big lead. This is the third successive year that the Florida Gators have had the opportunity to win a Southeastern Conference title, a title they have never won in the school's history.
Looked like Johnny Henderson just fell down.
Kick by Posey. Good.
I don't know, Keith, whether Wes Chandler put such a move on him that he got tangled up or whether or not he just slipped there. Let's take a look at that. It's hard to see from up here, but he just left him standing there. Fisher just rolls out. Chandler, you can't see. He's in the lower part of the screen here. You'll see Henderson slip and fall. You see him right there on the hash mark. You can't see whether it was a Chandler move. Here's Chandler just breaking to the outside from the slot position. Let's take a look now and see what happens to Henderson. Oh, he gets tangled up on the other back coming across.
Yep.
I didn't see that. Yeah, it was sort of a running pick. They were in man-to-man coverage.
That's illegal, Coach.
Yes, it is. But no, he didn't pick him. He just tripped over his feet there. You know the rules too, don't you?
From the 40, Posey hits it. It bounces, and it's Washington. Gene Washington is game tackled as he gets up to the 22-yard line, and we have now 4 ticks remaining. Now, if you run a pick play, like you talk about picks in basketball, that is, you run a man in front and seal off someone from it, then it's illegal. But there, he did not really make any effort to seal anybody. It's just that Henderson got tangled up with his own man.
Well, he forced Henderson behind the inside man coming, and he got tangled up with his legs. Right, you cannot actually screen a man, what you call a running pick or a block. You have to avoid him, but you can run a pass route. And that's what happened there.
Georgia Bulldogs take the snap, run the clock out. They'll go to the locker room trailing the Florida Gators by a score of 27-13 at halftime. The leading coach, of course, is Doug Dickey, the head man of the Florida Gators, and here he is with Jim Lampley.
Coach, all year long, people are worried about your defense, and they made 2 big plays in the last 5 minutes that put you way ahead.
Well, they played, I think, pretty solid football defensively, and we've had some good execution offensively by Jimmy Fisher's done a super job so far. So, you know, we just got to keep going. It's only halfway over.
I can tell you without equivocation, we've never seen this year such an explosive offense.
Well, we've got some people that can run, and you know, they're doing their thing well today, so I hope we'll keep it going, Jim.
Will a 2-touchdown lead change your offense at all?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that's enough. I don't think you're going to win a ball game like that. I think it's got to keep going, and I hope we can do a couple more out there.
Okay, thank you for spending time with us, Coach Doug Dickey. We'll be back with halftime festivities from the Gator Bowl, including the Fireman's Fun flashback. We return right after this.
Time up. Hey, man, you need a new stick.
Now, Alan, what did the people need?
Dr. Franklin, you need a new stick.
A what?
New Right Guard deodorant stick. It's the only stick that gives you that famous Right Guard all-day odor protection. The same all-day protection that's made Right Guard the #1 men's deodorant for years. Keep it.
Thank you.
Hey, Slick, you need a new stick.
Right Guard deodorant stick for all-day odor protection.
It began in glory. It ended in infamy.
My God. If I don't have an affirmative response, I will kill a hostage right where you're standing.
You animal.
I already told you you're not going to let you play around with us any longer.
William Holden.
You know, you're dead man.
The Olympics the world would never forget. 21 hours at Munich.
Tomorrow at 9, 8 Central and Mountain on ABC.
It's halftime at the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, Florida, and what a ball game we've seen in the first 30 minutes. The Gators of Florida, undefeated in SEC play, leading Georgia 27-13 here at halftime. Today's Fireman Fun Flashback is brought to you by Fireman's Fund Insurance. And Fireman's Fund Insurance is brought to you by an independent agent near you. Look for his name in the yellow pages. Last Saturday, the back of the week was Terry Miller of Oklahoma State. He had a tremendous day against Missouri. He led his team to a comeback victory over the Missouri Tigers by the score of 20-19. We're going to take a look at Terry Miller in action, but there is something that makes him even more unique than this performance of 228 yards and 3 touchdowns in an afternoon. First of all, let's watch him in action. He wears number 43 for the Cowboys. On this next play, it looks like he's stopped cold, but he breaks away and moves downfield. And then finally, on the winning touchdown, goes in to score. The thing that makes him a little bit unique, let's say, puts him aside from other performers on the gridiron, is in the form of equipment. Can you believe that Terry Miller actually wears a girdle? That's true. He wears pantyhose and a girdle, but for a very specific reason. And so when he goes to the locker room to get dressed before a game, he will actually wiggle into his uniform, or at least what goes underneath it. This is the lower extremity of it, and this was all done for a very specific reason, as you could no doubt guess. So, a visit to the locker room and a talk with Terry Miller will reveal to us just exactly why he wears this. It was prescribed by the team physician.
Well, the basic reason behind wearing the girdle is our team physician, Dr. Cooper, suggested to me when I was a sophomore that perhaps, the girdle would be more supportive than a 3-inch elastic wrap would on the hamstrings and giving equal pressure throughout the whole legs. And the reason that I wear it now is because it just helps give me support, and I guess I feel more secure with it on. Now I really don't have any problem with the hamstring, and I would like to attribute that to the girdle and probably Dr. Cooper's suggestion.
Well, the question obviously has to be, does he take any razzing or any particular teasing from his teammates? Here's his answer to that.
No, not really. When I first started wearing it, a few guys gave me a hard time, but now it's an everyday thing, and they don't even hardly notice it, I don't think, anymore.
Terry Miller in action, 228 yards, 3 TDs, but it's underneath that's what really counts.
This is an ad for Fireman's Fund, but it's also an ad for this company, and this, and this. Because the people who sell our insurance sell theirs too. In fact, independent agents handle many companies to get you the best deal. So always look for an independent agent. We hope he covers you with this. After all, this is an ad for Fireman's Fund. In the yellow pages, Fireman's Fund Insurance Companies.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at the Georgia Redcoat Band, 330 members of them, here from Athens today in a salute to the late, great Glenn Miller. He started off with the Little Brown Jug and then Pennsylvania 6-5000. The Georgettes and the Majorettes are also on the field under the direction of Phil Dance. Roger Dance and Gary Teskey are the directors of the band. String of Pearls, and then In the Mood. Let's reminisce a bit with Glenn Miller and the Redcoat Band of the University of Georgia. Incidentally, that view from the Goodyear blimp will give you a view of the second largest city in the world in square miles. That is true. The metropolitan area of Jacksonville, Florida, is 825 square miles. The largest city in the world is Peking, China, which is 835 square miles. Will be able to fill us in a little bit more on Peking, China. He has just returned there, and we understand just had a fantastic program of gymnastics, which you'll be hearing about later on Wide World of Sports. Spelled out on the gridiron, Glenn Miller. And now one of the really all-time greats, Moonlight Serenade. Well, I guess they cut that from the program because this is Florida, Georgia. Definitely not a Glenn Miller tune. And as you can see, Florida is leading Georgia 27-13 at halftime. This Georgia-Florida game is being brought to you by Chevrolet and Chevrolet dealers who invite you to see and drive Chevrolet's totally new 6-passenger car, the new Chevrolet. By National Semiconductor digital watches, calculators, and video games. By Schick Super 2 regular or adjustable. The only twin-blade cartridge with a Teflon coating to make closeness really comfortable. It's your face, so let Schick love it. And by Amphora pipe tobacco imported from Holland. It's the Dutch touch that makes Amphora one of the world's most distinctive pipe tobaccos. The University of Georgia in Athens, established in 1785, is the first chartered state university in the United States. Classes, which began in 1801, were first held under oak trees, since there was no money to erect a permanent building. However, that is not the case today, as the University of Georgia is rapidly expanding. Among the outstanding newer buildings are its $2.5 million Center for Continuing Education, new residence halls, the $13 million Science Center, a new Arts Center, a $6 million Graduate Research Center, a new pharmacy building, a $6 million journalism psychology building, and a new $4 million Coliseum. Attendance in the university's initial years averaged between 30 and 40 students. Now, in the fall semester of 1976, attendance has swelled to over 21,000 undergraduates, graduates, and special students. Well, as you know, at the end of every game on our NCAA series on ABC, we pick the offensive and defensive players of the game. And, of course, Chevrolet then sends $1,000 to the General Scholarship Fund of those particular institutions. Boy, this is going to be something today if the second half is anything like the first. So we'll be announcing those players at the end of today's ball game between Florida and Georgia.
The University of Florida's emergence as an SEC and national football power is fitting for a university that has already reached academic excellence. Not only is Florida the largest university in the South with 28,000 students, but among all the nation's universities ranks with Minnesota and Ohio State in having the largest number of academic offerings on a single campus. This has fostered important interdisciplinary programs such as biomedical engineering and was a major factor in obtaining one of the largest grants in the history of the National Endowment for the Humanities, $1 million to teach humanities to students headed for careers in such professions as healthcare, engineering, agriculture, and law. Florida is internationally known for energy research in its 20-year-old solar house and for pioneering efforts in cornea preservation and corneal transplants. Its College of Engineering ranks first in the South and 9th nationally for research grants from government and industry. Florida graduates have become state and national leaders in all walks of life, including Nobel laureate in medicine Marshall Nirenberg and the inventor of the digital computer Dr. John Atanasoff. In the land-grant tradition, the University of Florida is proud of its long record of service to society.
Well, the topsy-turvy world of college football may even be more topsy-turvy after today's action. At West Lafayette, Indiana, with less than a minute to go in the ball game, the Boilermakers of Purdue are leading the nation's #1 team 16-14. There's an old phrase in the Big Ten, Stag fears Purdue. Schembechler feared Purdue today, and you can see what has happened. The major upset of the year in the making with less than a minute to go. How about that? In just a moment, we're going to be returning here for the Florida Marching Band.
For a growing number of today's high school students, the key word in sports is participation. That's because more than 5 million young men and women are taking part in interscholastic athletics. Nearly one-half of the student body at many schools now enjoy the thrill and excitement of athletic competition. Obviously, the nation's high schools are expanding athletic programs to fulfill this growing desire for participation. Schools are supporting more sports and sponsoring more levels of teams at each one. And they're doing all this while keeping athletic program spending down to less than 5% of the total school budget. By any measure, interscholastic athletics are an educational bargain, and they're a sound investment, one that the National Federation of State High School Associations continues to preserve, protect, and support. We urge you to support interscholastic athletics in your community.
Preceding message was presented on behalf of the National Collegiate Athletic Association. And now on the field, the University of Florida Marching Band. Halftime show here with the cheerleaders, the drum majors, Dr. Frank Wicks, Director of Bands at the University of Florida. Michigan has just missed a field goal from 37 yards, and Purdue is still holding a 16-14 lead, and it must be the final seconds of play. Only 9 seconds to go in that game at West Lafayette, and the major upset of the year. So Wood of Michigan has missed a 37-yard attempt, and the old missed field goal caper comes back to haunt Michigan. As you know, of course, that's been the history against Ohio State in the past couple of years, missed field goals, and apparently it has cost Michigan what may be a national championship. It certainly has cost them an undefeated, untied season, because Purdue is leading by 2 with 9 seconds to go, and that game will be ending shortly. We imagine we'll keep you up to date. Well, it all goes to show you anything really can happen in college football. Michigan was favored in that game by 5 touchdowns. The marching band of the University of Florida on the field right now. The Gator Band presenting the hit song Feelings in concert formation. The field band is under the direction of Drum Major Harry McLean. And now the Gator Band from the University of Florida will present the finale, the sounds of Earth, Wind, and Fire's hit Getaway. And in case you joined us a little bit late, don't go away for the second half. Florida leading Georgia 27-13 here in the Gator Bowl, the showdown battle in the Southeastern Conference. And it is now official. The upset of the year has taken place. Purdue has defeated the #1 team 16-14. And when it is announced all over this land today, in different places, everybody is going to go absolutely crazy, because it opens the door for so many opportunities, so many teams that wanted to get in there to win a national championship. This doesn't mean that Michigan can't win it, but it certainly makes the job a lot tougher, and it certainly makes the Ohio State showdown 2 weeks from today even more significant, since Michigan now has gotten a conference loss and Ohio State remains undefeated in Big Ten play. The number Getaway, performed by the Gator Band. As they come off the field, we'll remind you we are just moments away from the second half kickoff.
Aerosol, not an economical way to apply deodorant. In fact, you'd use up this 4-ounce can of the leading aerosol, buy another, use it up, buy a third, use it up, before you'd use up one 2.5-ounce Speed Stick. Menon Speed Stick is solid deodorant, an even, effective layer of protection you apply directly. Nothing's wasted. That's why 1 million more Americans took our advice last year. They got off the can. They got on the stick.
Hey, let's see how some owners of America's oil companies live. These Texaco stockholders, plus over 2 million other Americans, invest in America's oil industry. In 6 companies alone, over half are women. Almost half are retired. 12 million more invest through organizations like mutual funds. Who owns America's oil companies? Over 14 million Americans trusting in companies like Texaco. We're working to keep that trust.
We Dutch are great on tradition. There's 200 years of it behind this. Amphora, one of the world's most distinctive pipe tobaccos. It's a blend of the world's most compelling, full-bodied, mellow tobaccos. Amphora, still so right for today. You can smell it, taste it, feel it. It's the Dutch touch, only in Amphora.
Game seemed to give Florida momentum, and once they got started, they're awfully hard to stop.
Well, that's an example of them being that explosive, and a team that explosive. You can't make mistakes like we did in the first half, because then you'll get as many points as they got. We still got a chance to win this ball game.
Which quarterback's going to start the second half for you?
Ray Goff. Yeah, no question. But we'll go with Ray. We need to take it at him a little more, and we will.
Thank you very much for spending time with us, Vince Dooley. Now let's go back up to Keith Jackson and Ara Parsegan.
Thank you very much, Jim Lampley. We're ready to kick off the second half. Deep for Florida. Earl Carr, 30. Willie Wilder, 44. Both can fly. Both run that 100 in about 9.6. Alan Levitt kicks off for Georgia. 27-13. Florida leads. Kick is very high. Well into the end zone. Wilder going to bring it out. It was a bad decision. He's dropped at about the 9-yard line.
Couldn't seem to make up his mind on that, whether he was going to come out, and he decided to come out here at the 9-yard line, 10-yard line.
All right, here are the starting backs for Florida. Jimmy Fisher at quarterback, number 10. Willie Wilder at the halfback, number 44. Tony Green has not played in the ball game. He has a bad neck. Carr's in instead. Robert Morgan's the fullback. Ball is just short of the 10-yard line. First down for the Florida Gators as we start the second half of play, with the Gators holding a 14-point edge. Some mistakes by Georgia's defensive unit. First thing you know, bang, bang, Florida jumps out to a 14-point lead. Let's see if the Gators can get on track. Georgia comes out, and the Junkyard Dogs, number 61, Jeff Lewis, jumps all over the Florida quarterback. The offensive front for the Florida Gators, 89, of course, is Chandler. 79 is Forrester at tackle. Pupello, number 70, is at guard. In the middle, it's Robbie Moore snapping the ball. On the other side, it's Tribble, played a very strong first half. Bruce Mullenix, 74 at tackle, and Jimmy Stevens, the tight end, who made a key catch in Florida's last touchdown mark. They make it 27-13. Here's Fisher now on second down and 10, keeping the ball. Pitches it out to Wilder, and Wilder's ridden out of bounds by Ben Zambezi, the linebacker, who just came flying across there.
I'll tell you, this is an offensive football team with a lot of confidence. They're throwing that ball around back here, and here's Zambezi, number 44, leading tackler on the ball club, flows very well with the play. But there's Fisher dealing the ball off, and this is the comment that I was making. Down deep in their own territory, they have the kind of confidence in their option football game that they'll take those risk plays.
Tony Green is in the ball game for the first time out of the full house wishbone. The ball is pitched to Carr, cuts it upfield. Georgia's got him at the 18-yard line. On third down and 2.5, they couldn't get it. Now here's Jimmy Griffith, 210-pound junior from Buckhannon, Georgia.
Here's Jimmy Griffith. He's 6'2", 203. Blows real well with the play. Fisher dealt the ball off very quickly. You can see the quickness that Jimmy Griffin has. Of course, he gets some help, supporting help.
Fourth down now, and Florida has to go to the punt. Alan Williams will do the kicking, averaging 39 yards. Almost blocked, gets off a rather poor kick, and it is going to be downed at the Florida 45-yard line. Steve Dennis of Georgia was putting the heat on him. Almost got him, may have gotten a piece of it. The halftime stats, as you can see, time. Not much difference in total possession, but look at the yards. 215 for Georgia and 237 for Florida.
The only big difference in the statistics is in the score on the board, 27-13.
All right, here comes Georgia. First down at the Florida 45-yard line. Gators lead 27-13. Ray Goff gives to Al Pollard, his fullback. Pollard and McLee working out of the Georgia backfield. Here's a look at him close up. Ray Goff, who started the game, he was relieved by Matt Robinson, starts the second half. Kevin McLee, 39. Pollard is number 43. And the wide receiver, the flanker, is Gene Washington, number 82. Second down. Call it 6 yards to go from the 41-yard line. Florida. Goff gives the ball this time to McLee. Fumbles the ball. Florida's got it. Alvin Parrish, who made a big play in the first half defensively for the Florida Gators, comes up with another one. It was Charlie Williams, I think, that really busted him. And Scott Brantley, the other linebacker, number 55. So those two linebackers have had a great day. Here's Brantley.
There's Brantley, number 55. We've seen him all day. Look at him jump over the blocker, shakes the ball loose. And Alvin Parrish gets it for the Gators.
First down, Florida from the 34-yard line. Here's Wilder going wide, runs through one tackler, but can't get through the follow-up. Over there is 55 for the Georgia Bulldogs. Ben Zambezi, 44. Lawrence Kraft, 92. Maybe that was 44 I'm looking at.
Keith, one of the things that's interesting here, both of these teams are really running a lot of plays. They ran almost 80 plays in the first half, which is what the pros run in about 3 quarters.
Second down and 10. Ball loose, covered by Florida. Jimmy Fisher, losing control of it, was able to fall on it and cover it. And it is a very good thing because number 42 is right there. That's Bill Krug. So it works as sort of the rover or the monster man for the Georgia Bulldogs. The loss on the play is back to the 29-yard line, where it's third down and 15 now for Florida.
Bill Krug is all over the field. He's their big play man. You can always look for him to cause a fumble or sack a quarterback.
Russ Chandler to the left. Pass is thrown to the right side to Carr. Going down the sidelines, goes out of bounds. Didn't get the first down. He's about 3 yards short of it. So that bobble by Florida's quarterback Fisher, having to control it and fall on it 5 yards short of the line of scrimmage, turns out to be a big play in behalf of Georgia as they worked that little swing outside but didn't quite get enough for the first down. And so Alan Williams comes in to punt.
Boot it, Alan, boot it. Boot it, Alan, boot it. Boot it, Alan.
Billy Wood, deep. Good kick. Spiral hangs. Well, Billy Woods just would not give up on it. There were Florida people all over him on a 39-yard punt. He made the catch and was wrestled down immediately. It'll be right at the 20-yard line.
It's your face, that chick. Love it. It's your face, that chick. Love it. It's your face, that chick. Love it.
Schick loves your face with Super 2, the only twin-blade cartridge with a Teflon coating that makes closeness really comfortable. It fits track 2 handles, and it really loves your face.
It's your face, that chick. Love it.
Schick Super 2, regular or adjustable.
How do you spell relief?
When I get acid indigestion, I spell relief R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
For heartburn? R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
Rolaids spells relief. In this test with Rolaids active ingredient, laboratory acid changes color to prove Rolaids consumes 47 times its weight in excess stomach acid. How do you spell relief?
For gas, I spell it R-O-L-A-I-D-S.
Rolaids spells relief.
Today, ABC's Wide World of Sports presents live from San Francisco, Ron Lyle, the 5th-ranked heavyweight contender, against 3rd-ranked Jimmy Young, who lost a controversial decision to Muhammad Ali, and the speed and excitement of the National Drag Racing Championships, today on ABC.
The city of Jacksonville from the Mayflower with Larry Chambers and Drew DeRosa providing those pictures from up there. And let's jump right back down into the Gator Bowl now. First down, Georgia. Call it the 20-yard line, just short of the 20. Ray Goff hands the ball away to Al Pollard, and Pollard is good for about 3 yards. Some of the scores from around the country. You've already heard the shocker. Here's some out of the Ivy League. Brown over Dartmouth. Brown Bears having a big year, and Yale jumped on Princeton today, 39-7. And that sets up a pretty good battle for next week between Harvard and Yale, and Harvard is handling its assignment all right today. 2nd down and 7 yards to go from the 23-yard line. Goff keeps the ball. Ray turns it up, and waiting for him is Jeff Kenner, defensive right end, a junior out of Sarasota, number 90 for Florida. Of course, the big score was up at Lafayette, Indiana. Navy and Syracuse. George Welch's Middy's getting one today, and the Colgate Red Raiders are going to continue along undefeated. Looks like it'll be Colgate and Rutgers getting together at the end of the season, perhaps undefeated. Wake Forest and Duke, that'll make Mr. Charles Howard very dismal. Back we go to Ray Goff as he looks and he throws, and the pass, a great catch by Davis. Steve Davis just went up there and took that ball. And it's a first down for Georgia.
That was some kind of catch. He drilled that ball in there. I thought it was going to be intercepted for a minute. You watch Davis just take the ball away. Just rolls out. It's just a quick rollout. And delivers it. Who's that? 24 there is the Alvin Cowens. It looked like he was going to intercept it and wound up on the short end of it.
Alvin did all he could, didn't he? 35-yard line. First down, Georgia. Goff rolls. Got some open field in front of him. Gets away from Brantley. Brantley gets his shirt. But the Georgia quarterback, Ray Goff, goes all the way down to the Florida 37-yard line before he's finally run out of bounds. Joel Parrish, great blocking to lead him around the corner. Now watch this.
This got Brantley. They faked the ball to the right. Goff rolled away from it. Let's watch whether why we call these tearaway jerseys. Look at this. What a great shot of losing the whole shirt.
Undressed him, but the quarterback will take the real estate. It's down, call it the 39-yard line of Florida. First down, and Matt Robinson comes in while Goff gets a new shirt. Gives the ball to Kevin McLeod. Power running. Out of bounds at the 7. First and goal to go, Georgia. Ulysses Norris, 85. Gene Washington, 82. Big blocks on the run.
You see, Kevin McLeod actually shook a tackler off right at the line of scrimmage, and this is just outstanding running. He probably could have been stopped for no gain at the line of scrimmage. This is just great running on the part of Kevin McLeod.
109 yards in the ball game on 14 carries. Having a big day. First and goal to go from the 7-yard line of Florida. It's McLeod again, and this time he gets planted. Ron Coleman, 61. Right on the number.
Coleman? Who was it that missed him on that play before?
Probably Coleman. He really got him that time. Vince Dooley, little smile, flickering across the countenance on the sideline. It's second down, goal to go from the 6-yard line. Goff rolls, looks for Washington. Throws short. Good. Touchdown. Pass to Norris. Ulysses Norris for the score. And Georgia is right back in the ball game. Matt Robinson will hold, and Alan Levitt will try for the extra point. It's a very important point. It's good. 9 minutes and 43 seconds to play in the third quarter. It is now 27-20. Florida leading Georgia. Here's the touchdown play as he looked at Washington deep in the corner and then came back down more towards the middle to hit Norris.
Yeah, Florida was looking, I think, to protect against Washington. And Ulysses Norris just slipped right in the seam on the inside. Goff drills it right in there. You see Washington to the outside, number 82, and they were all overprotecting on that side.
So, Ray Goff loses a shirt, goes out, gets a new one, comes right back, and gets the 6.
Got a new game.
Now, here's the kickoff with Carr and Wilder deep. Beautiful picture there. Here's a sailing kick that'll go through the end zone and out of bounds. Off the field of play. And Florida now will get the ball first down at the 20. Here are the scores as North Carolina hangs in there, having a fine season, 27-23. Memphis State holding a 14-7 lead over Tennessee. That's an intrastate scrap. Kentucky is the next opposition for Florida. Auburn, the next opposition for Georgia. Michigan State beating Indiana. And Minnesota having a big day against Northwestern. Of course, the big upset, that score, Wisconsin over Iowa 16-14. That's what Purdue used today to beat Michigan. Here is Jimmy Fisher giving the ball away to Tony Green, or was it Larry Brinson? Brinson is in there. Let's check that Florida backfield. It's Wilder, Carr, and Brinson with Morgan now coming in, bringing the play. Green was in for one play earlier in this quarter. I didn't see Tony active at all in the first half. He's had a sore neck.
You know, Florida needs the first down here to break the momentum that Georgia's generated, and we'll see whether they get it or not.
On second down and 5, it is Wilder carrying the ball for about 3 yards. You know, Florida and Georgia met in Jacksonville back first time in 1933, and it has become a custom down in this part of the country. 1933, of course, the first year of the Southeastern Conference. Over 70,000 fans come here every year, half from each school. It's a bonanza time for the city of Jacksonville and a great vacation for those who come with their team. Third down. They need almost 2 yards for the first down. From the 28, Fisher keeps. Didn't get it.
Didn't get it.
Lawrence Kraft, number 92, the defensive left end, was the man that turned him and kept him from falling forward.
Well, they needed that first down. I don't believe they've made one in the second half, have they? This third period. And the momentum is all in Georgia's favor right now. They should wind up with fairly decent field position on this kick.
The question now is whether or not Georgia will send everybody or whether they'll peel it off for a return. And we don't know that Florida's going to kick, and they're not. Fourth down. They need about 6 inches. They're going to go for it from their own 29-yard line. Fisher, they go wide with it. And he doesn't get it. Carr does not get it. Johnny Henderson, number 32, came up and made the play of the day for the Bulldogs so far. Wow. Well, it took some gizzards for Doug Dickey and his kids to go out there and try to get it, too. I'll say that. It's going to be first down for the Georgia Bulldogs at the Florida 29 as the Gators gamble and lose. Now, let's see how much they lost. If Georgia sticks it in, we'll have a tie ball game. And Ray Goff is the quarterback with Pollard and McLee behind him. Goff keeping, turns it up, and he's down to about the 21-yard line for 8 yards. Here's the Florida gamble as Carr tries to bring it upfield, and he couldn't do it as Johnny Henderson, number 32, comes in to get him. Pretty good stiff arm.
Remember, Johnny Henderson's the same guy that got tripped up on that other pass, so he made up for that one. It really is.
Second down and 2 yards to go for Georgia from the Florida 21-yard line. The handoff is to the fullback, Al Pollard. And Pollard's got a first down for Georgia as he bangs it down to about the Florida 17-yard line. And the red and black is very much in evidence right now all over the Gator Bowl.
You really get the feel, you know, you talk about momentum in a game, Keith, and you're just witnessing it here in the third quarter with this Georgia team.
First down at the Florida 17 with 6 minutes and 59 seconds to go in the third quarter. The handoff is to Kevin McLee, and he is decked at the 15-yard line. Number 53, Charlie Williams, the linebacker, got him. This is the third successive year the Florida Gators have had the opportunity to win their first ever Southeastern Conference championship. They're leading 27-20, but they're in trouble right now as Georgia is prowling. The Sugar Bowl spot goes to the Southeastern Conference champion. Gene Washington wide to the right. Here comes Goff, pitches it out. That is McLee. He's at the 6-yard line. It's first down and goal to go for Georgia.
You see that little action that Goff put on the defender? Made him think that he was going to keep the ball, faked it to the outside, and then he dealt it off at the last minute. I'm amazed with the way that these two teams are executing the option play, which is so difficult, really. We've seen fumbles and errors, and here we are at the 6-yard line with it.
Goal line defense in for Florida. Brantley out. Totten comes in. He's the man that blocked the extra point try. Here's Al Pollard. Running back for Georgia, just keeps on struggling. But he protects the ball well, and he's down to about the 2-yard line.
Charlie Williams has made 2 of those last 3 plays, and he's 6'1", 237, and a real strong defender. He's been playing real well for that Florida ball club.
Second down, goal to go, Georgia at the Florida 2. 5:40 to go, third quarter. Bulldogs trying to tie it up. It's touchdown, Al Pollard. Joe Parrish, Mike Wilson, Ulysses Norris escorted him in.
You know, Keith, Vince Dooley was telling me yesterday about Pollard. He's not that fast. He says, but you just can't keep him out of there. He's such a determined, hard worker, and aggressive kid.
The extra point try, the snap. Was a bad snap, but it got over. Somehow it got over. They bobbled the snap. It looked like one of the Florida players might have slapped it, but it just wiggled over. And we've got a tie ball game. Here's the touchdown. Watch the blocking on the right side. That big 85, Norris, really laid a block in, and Pollard slammed it through. So we're all even at 27 with 5:32 to go in the third quarter.
Foot down and come on in to Goodyear. Put your foot down and come on in to Goodyear. 'Cause Goodyear puts its foot down on prices right now.
Goodyear has put its foot down. Save 25% on Goodyear's custom power cushion polyglass block walls. America's best-selling tire at 25% off regular price. Sale ends Tuesday.
Yes, Goodyear puts its foot down on prices. And how?
There's a lot of good things at Pizza Hut. There's a lot of good things under our roof. Try our thick and chewy pizza and our thin and crispy crust. That can bake pasta really is a must.
There's a lot of good things at Pizza Hut. There's a lot of good things under our roof.
The deep men for Florida, Willie Wilder and Earl Carr, as we again show you this sprawling city that right now is very quiet because all the attention is focused right here. And Alan Levitt just knocks it right on. He almost hit it in the river. Oh, he really popped it. Alvin Parrish, incidentally, the defensive back for Florida, number 4, went off the field with some help. He was shaken up. Here's number 22, the hot man, Butch Fox for the University of Georgia. He's not that big, but he'll take on anybody, anywhere, under any circumstances. And right there, he ran head on into a fellow who's about 30 pounds bigger.
There's some action going on there.
All right, here's Florida, first down. Give the ball to Wilder. Bounces off one man, and he's got 2 yards as he comes to the 22. Jeff Sanders. Number 99, the tackle for Georgia. All right. Now, you talked about your momentum a while ago as how it swung over to Georgia. This is a very critical time right here for the Florida Gators.
Well, Vince Dooley, when he came out and was interviewed just before the beginning of the second half, said, well, we're going to get after him in the second half. And boy, this third quarter is certainly testimony to that statement.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-man front. Here's Fisher's pass. Pass is caught by Gaffney up at the 30-yard line. That should be a first down for the Florida Gators. And it is. Here's Jim.
As you watch the Georgia defense try to stop Florida throughout the second half, particularly when they're trying to stop Wes Chandler deep, keep in mind that they've lost their experienced safety man, Martin Mitchell. He had a dislocated elbow in the first half. You might remember he made some big plays. Georgia has also temporarily lost All-American offensive guard Joel Parrish. He has a sprained ankle, may be able to come back, but may not. Keith?
All right, Jimmy, thank you. First down for the Florida Gators. Wes Chandler to the left side. They've not gone to him lately, and you can see the Junkyard Dogs are just steaming.
They're swarming.
Jeff Lewis, 61, led that charge that slipped inside the blocking and got the Florida ball carrier just short of the line of scrimmage. Look at that total yardage. And we've got 4:13, 4:10 now to go in the third quarter. I can't add that high.
They've been up and down this field.
Second down, about 10.5 yards to go. For first down for Florida, just inside the 30. Fisher gives to Carr. And Carr is caught. Number 87 fought his way through Dickie Clark and brought him down. Clark is a 205-pound senior from Rossville, Georgia. Not very big up front defensively, but they sure are active.
Chandler going in there.
I'm surprised they haven't gone to Chandler a little more here.
Yeah.
Of course, they haven't had a whole lot of time with the ball, have they?
That's exactly right, but they've run the ball here. I don't know whether they feel this field positions have changed. Of course, that gamble that Dickey took right around the 30-yard line looks big right now.
Two wide receivers, Schuler and Chandler. Here's Fisher rolling. Got to hurry. No chance. Coming from the blind side was Bill Krug, the rover. Decked him back on the 25-yard line, and Jimmy Fisher really took a rap, but rolls away from it and comes off under his own power.
Well, that's what we said earlier. This Bill Krug is their big play guy, and they said, watch out, he'll cause a fumble, sack a quarterback, and he just did.
It is fourth down, and Florida must punt. Alan Williams, to hit it. That's a beauty. Dropping backwards to Georgia. Steals it at the 26, retreats to the 23, and comes back to the 30. Maybe the 29, I guess. And so we have 2:42 to go in the third quarter, and the score is all even at 27-27.
How about a little beer talk? You see a lot of people drinking beer right out of the bottle or can, and, well, that's okay. But when it's convenient, why not pour your next beer into a sparkling, clean glass? Looks better, doesn't it? Tastes better, too, especially if it's Budweiser, because Bud is brewed and Beechwood aged to kick up a big, creamy head of foam that you just have to see to appreciate. And a taste? A taste that says it all.
2 times 8 equals 14.
The Quiz Kid. It doesn't just give children something to do.
Equals
It gives them something to think about.
16.
The Quiz Kid from National Semiconductor.
With 1 minute to go in the game at Grant Field, Georgia Tech is out in front of Notre Dame 23-14. That is a major upset in the making. We've already had one huge one today. Look at this one at Lincoln, Oklahoma State, ahead of Nebraska in the fourth quarter. This has got to be Halloween, doesn't it?
Well, you spread those scholarships around like that, or cut the scholarships back and spread the blue chippers around. It makes a difference, doesn't it?
This made my stomach nervous.
Here's Georgia now. First down, just short of the 30-yard line. The Georgia quarterback, Goff, and Kevin McLee run together, and Goff is wobbling around holding his hand. It looks like Ray Goff has injured his hand on that handoff.
Or a finger.
Well, it jammed the finger.
Yeah, he's waving.
Here comes Matt Robinson into the lineup, and Goff will leave.
Boy, this Georgia Bulldog team has got a lot of character. They're really impressive. They've come back from a 2-touchdown deficit, and they're right back in here going again.
McLeod gains 7 yards. Out to the 33, second down and 7. Robinson there at quarterback, hands the ball over to Pollard. Pollard breaks it big. Goes out to the 43-yard line. First down, Georgia. It's 14-0 in the third quarter, Georgia, as they have come back to tie, and they are just roaring. Goff comes back into the Georgia lineup now as Robinson goes out. First down, Goff still got it. Gives it to McLean. And he muscles for about 3 yards before they can bring him down. Penalty flag is over there. Thrown at the point of the tackle. Could be a face masking. Could be a personal foul. We'll see.
I think it's a face mask. Yeah. There goes the Florida team going backwards. 15 yards. Well, you talk about when things change. They really change. Florida has had everything go against us against themselves in this third period, and there's still 1:38 left.
The ball is marked just inside the Florida 40-yard line. First down, Georgia, with 1 minute and 38 seconds to play in the third quarter. McLeod goes out of the Georgia backfield. McClendon replaces him. Goff gives to Pollard. And Goff was hit just as the ball was handed off. But they got away with it and got about 5 yards on the carry. This Monday on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football, the Los Angeles Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals from Riverfront Stadium in Cincinnati. The Los Angeles Rams and the Bengals will be seen on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football at 9 Eastern, 8 Central Time over most of these ABC stations. Oh, that will be a good one. It's second down. Call it 6 yards from the 36-yard line. Goff coming down the lines, keeps it, fakes it, turns it up. He's got a first down. A penalty flag is thrown. We may have a clip coming up here as the ball carrier reached about the 19-yard line. Going to get a clip. Yep, that'll cost him 15. So that's going to nullify a good long run.
Boy, that Ray Goff, he's about 210, 6'2", 6'3". He's a big old dude in there, and he really handles the ball well.
He ran for about 15, and they're going to bring it back.
What kind of yardage does he have today, Jimmy?
Jimmy Ritz, our statistician, with the quickest pencil in town. There it is.
12 times he's carried for 106 yards. That's not a bad average.
Watch the upper right-hand corner of the screen. And on this run by Goff, you'll see the clip. Now, you see up there, there's the
Terry LeCount is being clipped by number 58, 56, is it?
Yeah, Joe Tereshinski, the center.
Center.
So the ball is back at the 34-yard line, where it is second down and... Where we played 45 minutes of football in this 54th game between Georgia and Florida, and we're right where we started, dead even. Goodyear blimp offering the pictures from high above the Gator Bowl, down on the field. Georgia has a first down at the Florida 23-yard line, trying to get the lead. Ray Goff at quarterback. Hands the ball away to Kevin McLeod. And McLeod rumbles to the 15-yard line. Joel Parrish with a tremendous block. And Mike Wilson, big 77, right along with him. What's 67 and 77?
They're just cross-blocking in here. The tight end and the tackle driving down to the inside. The guard blocking out. And Pollard's finding the hole. Look at it. It's a good one.
Second down and 2 yards to go from the 15, and Georgia makes a mistake. Broken play, that'll cost him 5.
One thing about this fourth quarter, of course, Georgia dominated the entire third quarter, but the fourth quarter, as you look at the record of Florida, they've been in some close ball games. They've won some games by 2 points, 3 points, 4 points. Here's the stats.
And in this ball game, you have had, what is it, 60, 54, that's 114 plays running the ball game. 114 plays.
We've still got a quarter to play.
And they don't even look tired. Of course, Florida has looked a little weary here for the last few moments. The defense has been out there a very long time. Second down, 7 yards to go as they back them up to the 19-yard line. Goff keeps it, gets around the corner. Number 53 runs him down for Florida, Charlie Williams. It was Joel Parrish, number 67, again making a big block to lead Goff downfield and to a first down as they mark the ball right about the 10-yard line. Today on ABC's Wide World of Sports, Howard Cosell is out in San Francisco for a premium heavyweight fight between two of the top challengers, Jimmy Young and Ron Lyle. And of course, right after the ball game today, you'll have the Prudential College scoreboard. It's at 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central, and 5 Pacific time over most of these stations. Play goes inside with Al Pollard carrying. From the 10, he gets to about the 7.
Keith, if anybody questions Georgia dominating the game in the third quarter, they rushed for 149 yards to Florida 6. Well, that's kind of dominant. 159 yards to 6. That's some kind of quarter.
Second down. Almost goal to go, but not quite. Goff keeps it. Dives to the 5. Ray Goff gets to the 5-yard line, and getting up, Brantley, number 55, the freshman linebacker for the Gators.
I think he'll put it up here. I got a feeling that Goff may throw the football.
Well, Steve Davis has come into the lineup, replacing Mark Hodge for Georgia. The nose of the ball almost touching the 5-yard line. I'm not sure that they can get a first down, maybe by an inch without scoring. But it's third down from the 5. Goff keeps it. He's got some room. Touchdown. Kevin McLee, the running back, threw the block and got Ray Goff around the corner, and the big quarterback took it in.
Here's the replay on it. Goff wants to throw the ball to the double flankers. He rolls out to the left. The contained man, he steps inside of. Right there, he's blocked down. And Goff sees the daylight. He heads for the corner. Williams, 53, is trying to catch him, but there's no chance.
All right, here's the extra point try by Levitt. It's up. It's good. So we have 12 minutes and 42 seconds to play in the ball game, and Georgia finally gets the lead, 34-27.
If you're like most parents, you measure time in your children's outgrown clothing.
Brand new clothes on Sunday, maybe too small on Monday, and all too soon they're wearing grown-up suits and ties. Children bloom like flowers in just a few short hours, and all too fast to realize.
You spend your life getting your children ready for their future, but what about your own? At Metropolitan Life, we think insurance should protect your future as well as theirs. Of all the money Metropolitan pays out, while 1/3 goes to beneficiaries, the other 2/3 goes to living policyholders to help pay for their future. So take time to listen to your Metropolitan representative, not only to protect your family's future, but your own. Metropolitan, where the future is now.
Next Saturday on ABC, an outstanding NCAA football doubleheader, beginning with a regional lineup headlined by Alabama versus Notre Dame. Check local listings for the game in your area. Followed by Texas A&M against Arkansas on ABC.
The city of Jacksonville just fairly throbbing with excitement. This place has just been jumping. Because last night, everywhere you turned, people were talking football, and why not? It's Georgia 34 and Florida 27, and Willie Wilder does not get a handle on the ball as it skitters into the end zone. He has to go back and cover it because it's a live ball, and if Georgia had been able to get there, they might have come up with another touchdown just that quickly. With 12 minutes and 37 seconds to play, Georgia now with 10 plays and 70 yards to get the lead. Georgia took the initial lead on the opening possession, took it right in for the touchdown. Florida came back to tie, went to the lead, and since that time, the Gators were dominating. At halftime, it was 27-13. But then Georgia came out and just took command in the second half, scoring 14 points in the third quarter, and finally going ahead in the waning moments and the beginning of the fourth quarter. And Jimmy Fisher, the quarterback for Florida, keeping on the option, turns it up, and he gets about 8 yards before he is finally brought down.
You've gone to look at the game.
There's the Howard family amidst those jubilant Georgia folks over there. Well, I see one Florida hat in there. It's Carolyn. And the girls, Carrie and Chris. They've got big doings in front of them, just down the road in Orlando. Here's Willie Wilder going for the first down, gets the first down. And that error, Parsekian, is the first time in the whole second half that the Florida Gators have really shown some power.
Right, you know, you can't discount them. They've been in close games before during the course of the year. Number one. Number two, they've got terrific speed. And number three, they can throw the football. So don't count them out of this football game.
Defense, 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 defense.
Those two bald-headed gentlemen you saw, not really bald, just shaved, Joel Parrish and Mike Wilson, 67 and 77, who've been super for Georgia on the right side of the offensive line. Right now it's Florida, first down at the 34-yard line. Fisher going deep, going for Chandler. He doesn't quite get it. It is intercepted. Wow. Intercepted on a spectacular catch by Billy Woods. It looks like number 37. It is Billy Woods. Watch this. At Absolutely spectacular catch by the Georgia defensive back.
Boy, it is some kind of a catch. I thought from up here that he had dropped the ball, that it hit the ground, but let's look at it right there. No, he got it. Here's another view of it. The ball, he gets his hands underneath the ball. He juggles it momentarily. Watch right here. The ball hits his hands. He starts to lose it, but then he grabs it back before he hits the ground.
Or we go back to live action on the field. Ray Goff gives to Al Pollard as Georgia leads 34-27, and they start from just outside their own 20-yard line with 11 minutes and 35 seconds to play in the ball game. Here's Bill.
Well, we hate to distract you here at this moment, but we do want to say that Pitt, number 2 in the nation, probably will be the nation's number 1 team. After today's upset of Michigan, Tony Dorsett scored 3 touchdowns, ran for 212 yards.
Okay, Bill, second down and 7 yards to go from the 24-yard line for Georgia. They'll stay with it on the ground, and it's Kevin McLee breaking it big out across the 40 out to the 41-yard line. Tomorrow, ABC Sports brings you the final round of the Walt Disney World Golf Classic National Team Championship. As you saw earlier here on ABC, the teams of Woody Blackburn, Bill Cratchit tied at minus 22 or 22 under par with Jerry McGee and Alan Miller. That's at 2:30 Eastern, 1:30 Central tomorrow over most of these ABC stations. Here's the man, Billy Woods, who made that big interception for Georgia. Goff hands the ball. Oh, fumble! Georgia keeps it. And Vince Dooley almost fainted.
Did they get it back?
Yep.
Couldn't see. Yeah, they did.
Looks like Willie McClendon, who is in the backfield position, recovered the fumble. Kevin McLee for 152 yards today on 21 carries. Not too bad. McClendon goes out of the ball game. McLee's back.
I'm sorry, Pete.
Second down and 5 yards to go. They counter it back inside, and they're short of the first down. Their play gains to about the 49-yard line. So Georgia now sitting on a 7-point lead. And McLee was brought down by number 61 for the Florida Gators, Ron Coleman.
As I'm watching up here, I see that Florida is changing their defenses. They go from even to odd. They're trying to stunt the game, but Georgia's been able to pick up everything.
Right now, they need about 2.5 yards for a first down. On third down, McLee in motion. Give it to Pollard. Penalty flag goes down. Probably going to be a call against Georgia. One indication is offside. I thought I saw one indication of illegal procedure.
Might have been motion. I think the man in motion might have been moving towards the line.
Might have turned upfield just a little bit.
Yeah.
Little tiny mistakes can be so damaging in a ball game that is far, far, far from over with 9 minutes and 40 seconds to play. And that's the call, 5 yards against the Georgia Bulldogs. Man in motion, turned upfield too soon at the 44-yard line. Now for Georgia, it'll be third down and a long 7 yards. Georgia 7 penalties and 83 yards. Florida 2 penalties, 28 yards. Goff gives it to Steve Davis. Davis pitches it outside to McLee, and McLee goes for a first down. And there's one out of the book. Last year, Georgia beat Florida with a tight end coming around to throw a pass. Right there, you saw the tight end come around and pitch it to a trailing back.
This little gadget, you watch the tight end coming back from the backside. Now he's an option runner like a quarterback. He's got a guard out in front of him. He deals the ball off. This is what you call little gadgets in football, and they had a big gainer out of it.
And it's first down for Georgia at the Florida 43-yard line. Goff hands to Pollard. And Pollard, who's having a big day, takes it to the 36-yard line. That's 7 yards. Competing in Southeastern Conference football requires a lot of things. Combination of athletic and academic ability. Georgia and Florida students majoring in English, accounting, you name it, they're all represented. All the departments out here on these two football teams. Second down, 3. From the 36, it's Pollard again. Going for the first down, he's got it. As he bangs down to the Florida 31. Now the Georgia offensive front is beginning to carve up the Florida defense.
They've just been running. It just seems as if whatever the Florida Gators try defensively just doesn't seem to work. Georgia picks them up without any difficulty.
Florida now calls timeout with 8 minutes and 25 seconds to go in a ball game. Georgia 34, Florida 27.
What I've got here is the new delicate, petite National Semiconductor digital watch for you ladies. But it isn't just new and delicate and petite. This National Semiconductor watch is typically accurate within 1 minute a year. And it's so ruggedly built it should last for hundreds of years of normal use, which just goes to show you things can be tough and still very beautiful. What are you laughing at?
Hassles. You don't need hassles at the end of a hard-working day.
We offered Patricia Russell $20 if she ever had a bad surprise at a Holiday Inn.
If you were another chain, I could get the $20, but it's Holiday Inn, so I can't. You can know that the place is going to be clean, the food service is going to be good, and the people can help you. Everything is crisp, clean, and really up to a good standard.
Holiday Inn, where standards make sure the best surprise is no surprise.
You can count on it.
With 5 minutes to go in that game at Lincoln, Nebraska has scored, and a 6-yard Vince Ferragamo to Ken Spate was the thing that did it. The Prudential College scoreboard with Dave Dowles and Warner Wolf will be coming up right after our telecast, and they'll have all the details of the games today. Let's go back to action.
All right, Bill, thank you. At the 31-yard line, it is first down for the Georgia Bulldogs. They are marching in the second half of play. Down 27-13 at halftime. They've come back to lead 34-27. The handoff goes to Kevin McLee, the junior out of Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Era, I want to say this. Up front, the Georgia Bulldogs, 65, Steve Collier, 66, George Collins, Joe Tereshinski, 56, Joel Parrish, 67, and Mike Wilson, 77, and Ulysses Norris, 85, the tight end. They have just flat whipped Florida in this second half.
You know, it's so obvious here. Look at the yardage that the backs have made.
But backs don't go unless somebody's doing something up front.
Oh, you're an old lineman, that's all. On the back, I have to...
Second down and 8 yards to go. Goff gives it out to McLee, and Kevin McLee gets it to the 25-yard line. He got about 3 yards on that carry. Terry LeCount made the tackle. The lights have been turned on now as we work our way toward the hours of dusk. The Florida Gators have never won a Southeastern Conference championship. Came in conference play undefeated. If Georgia wins this ball game today, all they have to do is beat Auburn next week, and they're on their way to the Sugar Bowl. Here's Ray Goff rolling. Going to keep it. And they roll him out of bounds down around the 23-yard line. Alvin Cowens, number 24, making the defensive play for Florida.
If you recall, the stats were pretty even in the first half. And here we are in the second half, with Georgia now has 226 yards rushing to Florida's 11. Wow. Now, that is just unbelievable dominance. I've never seen a game quite that, and any one team dominate a team in the third and fourth period after having yielded, what was it in the first half, 215 or 237 yards?
Yeah. 7 minutes and 3 seconds to play in the game, and Georgia spends a timeout. Here's Jim.
One historical fact that we've mentioned before, but it bears repeating. Florida has never won a Southeastern Conference championship. Time and time again, they've come down toward the end of the season, usually to this game, needing a win to nail down the championship. They've never gotten it. They needed a win last year and lost in the closing moments to Georgia. A tie in 1969 against Georgia kept them from a conference championship. Steve Spurrier's senior year, 1966, they lost to Georgia and lost the conference championship. There have been other occasions, but those are the losses that hurt most bitterly. Florida coaches are aware of it. Everybody in the stands who roots for Florida for a long time is aware of it. And you have to wonder, as you come down toward the end of this game, if the Florida players on the field don't feel the weight of that history on top of them. Keith?
They're feeling the brunt and weight right now of the offensive line of Georgia, I'll tell you.
Fourth down.
Fourth down, they need a yard. Almost exactly a yard. It's Pollard. He's got it. 19-yard line of Florida. He went right in behind Ulysses Norris and Mike Wilson, and he got it.
He just makes the right call every time he comes up to the line of scrimmage. That Goff makes the right call. Right blocking call. He hands off to the right spot. They're really executing this fear with just perfection.
Both teams brilliantly coached, utilizing the tools at their disposal so very, very well. First down at the Florida 19 for Georgia. Goff gives it outside to McLee. And every time Goff can handle that ball, he keeps it for so long, the Florida people at times defensively look like they are almost hesitant to commit on it.
Yeah. You know, the thing that strikes me in watching this Georgia ball club all afternoon is the similarity between the UCLA ball club, both offensively and defensively. It's very similar in nature. Quick defense, good running, good offensive blocking, good backs.
Be a fair matchup, wouldn't it?
Yeah, sure would.
Doug Dickey very concerned on the sidelines. Georgia still controlling the ball with 6 minutes to play in the game. Goff gives it to Pollard, and Pollard dives on 2nd down and 4, and they get him at about the 11-yard line. Next Saturday, we'll have some regional action for you on an NCAA football doubleheader, 12:30 Eastern Time, Alabama, Notre Dame from South Bend, Indiana. Other regional games will be announced on Monday, then at 4 Eastern Time, big game in the Southwest Conference between Texas A&M and Little Rock. So join us starting at 12:30 Eastern. Arkansas at Little Rock. Arkansas this week ranked 12th, and we've got a time called on the field. It's going to be charged against the Georgia Bulldogs. So we've got now 5:37 to play in the ball game. Georgia with the ball and leading 34-27.
What is it? 77 Chevelle.
How much?
38.85.
Honest?
That's what it says.
338.85?
For a mid-size, impossible.
$3,885.
38.85. Plus 5.
You know, the same audience sees me Monday through Friday, and I need a lot of different looks. So I stick with Hager. Tomorrow, for example, it's Hager's corduroy outfit. Thursday, this European look. And Friday, a rich double-knit tweed with piping and patches. And prices so reasonable I can afford to change as often as the weather.
Hager, America's best-known name in slacks.
On 3rd down and 2 yards to go, Florida must stop Georgia right here in order to have a chance to win this ball game. McLee. They did not stop him. It is 1st down and goal to go for the Georgia Bulldogs at the Florida 7-yard line. And we are going to have ourselves some kind of an argument over picking the offensive and defensive player of the game. Defense may not be too hard, but offense, we're going to have a caucus.
Well, you're looking at McLee with 178 yards and Goff with 117 yards.
I'm also looking at Joel Parrish, number 67, offensive right guard.
Yeah, he made a lot of things happen.
Pitch out to McLee, spins, and goes to the corner, just short of the goal line.
Terry LeCount could have stopped him right on the line of scrimmage, but Kevin McLee put a real move on him and took it right to the 1-inch line, or 1-foot line, I should say.
Out of bounds to stop the clock at 5:07 to play in the ball game. Just inside the 1-yard line. 2nd down and goal to go. Goff. Touchdown. And it may very well be, with that touchdown, Florida's hopes of winning finally a Southeastern Conference championship has come tumbling down.
Well, with just 5 minutes and 4 seconds left, they're going to have to put it up and have some big plays, although they are capable of big plays. They've had a lot of them during the course of the year.
Georgia set on the ball, kept the ball in that drive of 80 yards, 6 minutes and 42 seconds. Must have seemed like an eternity for the Florida people. Here's the kick by Levitt. It is good. And now it is a 14-point Georgia lead at 41-27 with only 5:04 to play in the ball game. city of Jacksonville as the sun begins to set. We'll be right back for the kickoff.
Today, ABC's Wide World of Sports presents live from San Francisco, Ron Lyle, the 5th-ranked heavyweight contender, against 3rd-ranked Jimmy Young, who lost a controversial decision to Muhammad Ali. And the speed and excitement of the National Drag Racing Championships, today on ABC.
Georgia will kick off. Florida sends Carr and Wilder deep. The Gators have come storming back so many times already this season. This kickoff is way back into the end zone, and Wilder this time is held by Earl Carr and says, Willie, you stay right there. Last time he tried to run out of the end zone, they got him up around the 9-yard line. This time, they'll bring it out to the 20. Let's go back in the 3rd quarter and remember a 4th down gamble that failed.
That was a key play, unquestionably. You know, one of the things about this football game, I thought maybe a field goal might decide it, but there's been only touchdowns scored in this game. No field goals, and there's been 10 touchdowns. 6 by Georgia.
Wes Chandler comes wide to the right side. He has been largely ignored or particularly well covered in the second half. Fisher looks for him, pitches it out. Big lineman's got the ball. Joe Pupello, who came back to block. Jimmy Fisher was caught, and he just saw a friendly blue shirt and pitched it out to him, but Lawrence Kraft was right there to mess it up.
And I think he knows now how the running backs feel. There's about 5 Georgia guys on him.
Kraft is, it's Jeff Sanders, 99, who leaves the field for the Georgia Bulldogs, hobbling a little bit. This program, a special exclusive of ABC Sports. And I'll give you that 5-second pause in just a moment. But right now, let's see what the Florida Gators do on 2nd down and 12. Fisher back to throw. Gators got to put it up. Passes away. Passes caught by Chandler. Boy, he made a remarkable catch, I'll tell you that, because he was absolutely well covered. Billy Woods is all over him.
Yeah, he just comes right down and out, and Fisher puts it right to him. It's at 37.
Yeah,
Billy Woods. Yeah, he's right there.
He's the man that made that big interception for Georgia.
Well, the reason that looked close, looked like it went through, almost went through Chandler.
3rd down and 2, and Florida trying to get the first down. They've got it as Wilder breaks it out to the 40-yard line. So he moved it from the 28 to the 40 for 12 yards. Now, let's pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves. 3 minutes and 38 seconds to play in the ball game. Tony Green is in the lineup. 799 total yards in the ball game. 1 more yard. They'll get to 800 probably before they're through. Pass goes over the middle. It's intercepted. Bad pass, and it's picked off by Johnny Henderson, number 32. Penalty flag on the tackle. The pass was thrown too high for the intended receiver and went right at Henderson and right on the numbers.
He just overthrew it. Poor throw, really. It was a secondary receiver, I think.
Well, against either one of these football teams, if you take a deep breath and try to relax, they'll just jump all over you. And the Georgia Bulldogs have certainly jumped all over the Florida Gators here in the second half. The penalties against Georgia. It's a big one of 15 yards, and Kraft is, it's Jeff Sanders, 99, who leaves the field for the Georgia Bulldogs, hobbling a little bit. This program, a special exclusive of ABC Sports. And I'll give you that 5-second pause in just a moment. But right now, let's see what the Florida Gators do on 2nd down and 12. Fisher back to throw. Gators got to put it up. Passes away. Passes caught by Chandler. Boy, he made a remarkable catch, I'll tell you that, because he was absolutely well covered. Billy Woods is all over him.
Yeah, he just comes right down and out, and Fisher puts it right to him. It's at 37.
Yeah,
Billy Woods. Yeah, he's right there.
He's the man that made that big interception for Georgia.
Well, the reason that looked close, looked like it went through, almost went through Chandler.
3rd down and 2, and Florida trying to get the first down. They've got it as Wilder breaks it out to the 40-yard line. So he moved it from the 28 to the 40 for 12 yards. Now, let's pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves. And 38 seconds to play in the ball game. Tony Green is in the lineup. 799 total yards in the ball game. One more yard than they'll get to 800 probably before they're through. Pass goes over the middle. It's intercepted. Bad pass, and it's picked off by Johnny Henderson, number 32. Penalty flag on the tackle. The pass was thrown too high for the intended receiver. It went right at Henderson and right on the numbers.
He just overthrew it. Poor throw, really. It was a secondary receiver, I think.
Well, against either one of these football teams, if you take a deep breath and try to relax, they'll just jump all over you. And the Georgia Bulldogs have certainly jumped all over the Florida Gators here in the second half. The penalty is against Georgia. It's a big one of 15 yards, and it is for clipping.
So he's trying to throw it, and then he looks back to the inside, just overthrows him. And there's a clip right there. You can see, I think it was I couldn't see the number, 83, was it?
I believe that's right. 35-yard line now. First down, Georgia, with only 3:19 to go in the ball game and sitting on a 14-point lead. They'll just grind along. Florida has got the gang tackle. They get Pollard. He picked up a couple of yards, and that's all. The Prudential College scoreboard comes up with Warner Wolf and Dave Dials right after the ball game, and there's plenty to talk about. And then ABC's Wide World of Sports features a heavyweight fight between Ron Lyle and Jimmy Young. And Doug Dickey not too satisfied at the moment. Ray Goff hands the ball away to McLee, I guess it is. Kevin McLee, number 39, who's been alternating some of the time today with McClendon, Willie McClendon. McClendon probably is the heir apparent to McLee's position if and when Kevin ever leaves. It must seem to some of the people who've been playing Georgia the last couple of 3 days, he's been there forever. He's only a junior. 2 minutes and 33 seconds to play in a game, and Georgia controlling it.
Hi. I don't drive that way out on the streets, and please don't you either. You know the old gray ghost here? Well, inside she runs like a top. That's why the folks at STP hired me, because they know I take good care of my own cars, including my new family wagon here, and I use STP oil treatment in all of them. They want me to tell you why? I'll tell you why. On account of it works. And that's the name of that tune.
This rig is attached to a strap woven from Flex 10 tire cord. Flex 10, a Goodyear exclusive. Tire cord is the main reinforcing agent in a tire.
Flex 10 tire cord is made from a man-made aramid fiber that is pound for pound stronger than steel. Tensile strength is only one of many properties in a tire, but it's one of the most important. Here, Flex 10 lifts over 47,000 pounds. Flex 10, the tire cord of the future, from Goodyear.
That's a pretty picture, isn't it? From the airship Mayflower, the Goodyear blimp. The sun just beginning to settle down. They're beautiful sunsets.
Very scenic. You know, Keith, in this game, we've had 3 backs go over the 100-yard mark. McLee has gone 29 times for 106 yards, and Goff 16 for 118, and Wilder for 102 yards and 14 carries.
On third down, they need about a half a yard. Goff keeps the ball, pokes his head in there, and gets the first down for the Georgia Bulldogs. And now, with the clock running, 2 minutes and 26 seconds to play in the ball game. They'll start running as soon as they move the change. Georgia leading 41-27. Remember, it was 27-13 at halftime. Next week, it'll be Texas A&M and Arkansas at Little Rock. I'll get that straight. Clock going at 2:10. Georgia Bulldogs can beat Auburn next week. We'll see them New Year's Day in the Sugar Bowl. They go to Al Pollard, and the sturdy running back just keeps banging away on first down at the 46-yard line. He's got about 3 yards up to near the 48-49.
Keith, you know, for the college football fans that watching this game, we're nearing the 800-yard mark in total offense in this game, in this contest. And these two teams have really moved it, particularly, of course, Georgia in the second half from a rushing standpoint.
Ball is given to Kevin McLee, and he takes it for 2 yards to the 50 before he is rolled back. And we go inside a minute and a half to play in the ball game. And this time, I think you can say the Junkyard Dogs did quite well because they just simply came out in the second half and shut off the high-powered Florida offense. And there's the man right there, Erk Russell, who puts the defense together for Vince Dooley's Georgia Bulldogs.
He looks tough, doesn't he?
Time call by Florida with 1:27 to go. And Georgia leads it by 14. So it's Goff and
Professional mechanics have to stand behind their work, so they can't afford to settle for second-rate parts. That's why you see so many pros in Napa stores like this one. They've counted on Napa for over 50 years, and they know that Napa parts are often better than the original. So should you. Whether you do your own work or count on a Napa Gold Hat Professional to keep your car in shape, insist on Napa parts. Start upgrading your car.
That's NAPA. We help keep America moving.
Make a weekend of football and fun even greater. Invite the Colonel and Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Look at this is cooking, it's a meal. Real good is some Kentucky Fried Chicken.
with 1 minute to play in the ball game now, the Georgia Bulldogs have put it away. They have defeated the Florida Gators. They lead 41 to 27, and I don't want to get involved in symbolic analogies here as the sun goes sinking down. Georgia's going to be pitched for 5 yards here for too much time and delay of the game. That stops the clock at 46 seconds to play in the ball game. Let's go right now to Bill Fleming for the rundown on the
And here they are, the offensive player of today's game, Ray Goff, the quarterback of the Georgia Bulldogs, and Jim Griffith, linebacker, and a $1,000 check on behalf of Chevrolet to the respective schools. And it goes to the General Scholarship Fund. I think we have a penalty on that one, Keith.
Penalty flags were thrown as Bucky Dilts punts it away with 44 seconds, 43 running down. Georgia covers the ball all the way back at the Florida 13. We'll get definition of the penalty. I want to thank Jerry Klein, who's our research man and spotter, and our statistician, Jimmy Ritz, who came zipping down from his master's degree work from Northwestern University, and congratulate Ara Parsegian and his pretty lady Katie, grandparents for the second time. John Francis Burke III has arrived in the world.
All right.
Executive producer of NCAA football is Roone Arledge. Coverage of today's game produced by Chuck Howard, directed by Andy Sedaris, and our technical director, John Allen. And the penalty is marched off now against Florida. Illegal procedure against the Gators that waved off as the Georgia Bulldogs rather have the ball back where it is at the 13-yard line. 41 seconds to play in the ball game.
You just got to know how disappointed Doug Dickey is. Of course, the Southeastern Conference Championship, never have won it. Here you're within one game of it, and of course they played a super first half, and we're leading by 2 touchdowns, and the second half is a disaster for them, and I know that it'll be a tough night and a tough week for them before the next game.
Florida's ball at the 13-yard line. Jimmy Fisher is the quarterback. He'll put it up. Penalty flags all over the field. He throws the ball short to Wilder. And Willie gets it out to the 25 before Georgia wrestles him down. But you've got a call going, and it's probably against Florida. I thought I saw movement on the left side of the line, and that's what it is, illegal procedure. So that'll back the Gators up if the Bulldogs choose to take it, and they probably will. 33 seconds remaining to play in a ball game. If the Georgia Bulldogs beat Auburn next week, they will be in the Sugar Bowl. Doug Dickey, his team certainly deserves a bowl date, I think. It's an exciting football team. Ball is moved back inside the 9-yard line. 27 ticks remaining on the clock. Fisher's pass is away, intercepted by Zambezi. Zambezi had dropped back to cover the tight end, Jimmy Stevens, and he picks it off. And that will really do it. Here's Jim.
This is the guy who came out and got the Georgia offense moving in the second half. Did you make any changes to get it going, or just knock them off the line of scrimmage?
Well, no, so we felt like the first half that we moved the ball real well on the ground. We could throw on them when we were, pretty much. And we just came back and took our game plan and just went right at them.
This is a heck of a time to get hurt. What's this?
Well, I heard it the first year, and it's just a little sprain, and just got it stung a little bit, and it feels great.
You feel all right if you beat Auburn and get in the Sugar Bowl, huh?
Amen. That's correct.
Ray, we want to congratulate you. You've been chosen our Chevrolet Offensive Player of the Game.
Well, thank you, sir. I wish that I could, instead of putting that thing on my name, I'd like to do kind of like Matt Robinson did, and I'd like to give it to Hugh Hendricks, a guy that means a lot to us that passed away at the first of the year, and I'd like to give it to Hugh Hendricks and ask you to put it in his name because he's the one that inspired us all.
It's a sincere and beautiful thought. We thank you.
Sir. Appreciate it. Praise the Lord.
Ray Goff.
Clock ticking down into the ball game at hand, and it's over. The Georgia Bulldogs have won this 54th game against the Florida Gators by a score of 41-27. And there is the emotion, the ultimate contrast. As Vince Dooley is written off the field by his victorious Georgia Bulldogs on the Florida side. That's the story.
Well, I've been at both ends of it, Keith, and pictures tell the whole story.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed this afternoon's ball game between the Georgia Bulldogs and the Florida Gators. Final score 41-27 Georgia.
Championship Sunday, the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Inside the stadium, 91,000 cheering fans. On top of the scoreboard, an assassin with a high-powered rifle ready to strike. The 2-minute warning. Who will his target be? Charlton Heston, John Cassavetes, Martin Balsam, Bo Bridges, Marilyn Hassett, David Jensen, Jack Klugman, Walter Pigeon, Jenna Rowlands. 2-minute warning. Rated R. Starts Friday at theaters everywhere.
Both of these guys spent all morning cutting with chainsaws. One used an ordinary chainsaw. The other used the Poland Counter Vibe, a powerful lightweight with automatic chain oiling, a super quiet muffler, and a shock-absorbing system that reduces vibration up to 78%. So, which guy used the Poland Counter Vibe, and which one didn't? See the Poland Counter Vibe at your Poland dealer.
There's the final score. Great football game. Not as exciting as you could possibly have it. Remember, Prudential College Scoreboard coming up with the details from all of the excitement that happened across the country in college football today. Ron Lyle and Jimmy Young in a live heavyweight fight from San Francisco on ABC's Wide World of Sports. Left provided by the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. Travel arrangements made through and promotional fee paid by United Airlines. Fly the friendly skies of United where you're the boss. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television. Georgia, 41, Florida, 27.
21 Hours at Munich, the Sunday night movie, tomorrow on ABC.
This is the Prudential College Scoreboard, brought to you by Prudential for life, health, auto, or home insurance. When you think about your financial security, see a Prudential agent. Get a piece of the rock. Prudential Insurance. Well, a pleasant good afternoon from New York, everyone. I'm Dave Dials, and with me is Warner Wolf. And Warner, we've had a busy afternoon here in the studio with our researchers and our girls. And ABC's has a busy weekend with the National Team Golf Championships. We hope you saw it today. Hope you'll be watching it again tomorrow at 2:30 Eastern Time. And immediately when we're through, see the indomitable Howard Cosell with a couple of other heavyweights, Ron Lyle and a fellow by the name Young, and that should be pretty good. But the maddest man in America will not be in that ring today.
I'll tell you.
He'll be headed back to Ann Arbor, Michigan right about now.
Let's call this Upset Saturday. Number 1 ranked Michigan, a 4-touchdown favorite over Purdue, has lost. Purdue 16, Michigan 14. A winning field goal by Rock Serpan, 23-yarder with 4.5 minutes to go in the game, has won it for Purdue. Michigan had a chance to win it, but Bob Wood missed a 37-yarder with 14 seconds left in the game, so Purdue upsets Michigan 16-14. In all likelihood, Pittsburgh will now be the #1 team in the country. They beat Army today 37-7. Dorset, 212 yards, 33 carries, 3 touchdowns, becomes the all-time total yards rushing, receiving, and returning. The only question here, Pittsburgh, with a 34-7 lead and 2:53 left in the game, kicked a field goal to make it 37-7. A little rubbing it in there. UCLA leads Oregon 21-0. In the second period, Wendell Tyler has scored twice for UCLA. USC leads Stanford 14-3 in the second period. Ricky Bell is not playing. Vince Edward has thrown for 2 touchdowns. Texas Tech, undefeated, played TCU this afternoon. There are 4 minutes to go in the game. This was supposed to be a runaway. TCU had lost 31-33. It's 14-10 with 4 minutes to go in the game. 6th-ranked Maryland made it 13 straight, the second longest winning streak in the country, second only to Rutgers. Mark Mangus threw for 2, 21-0 Maryland. 7th-ranked Ohio State, no contest here, 42-10. Pete Johnson scored 4 touchdowns. He now has 53. 2 weeks from today, Michigan, Ohio State, right here on ABC. As you just saw here on ABC, a great comeback by Georgia, trailing 27-13. They beat Florida 41-27. And 9th-ranked Nebraska has squeezed by Oklahoma State. Touchdown in the final period, 14-10. Dave and I will be back in a moment. Dave will start with the Ivy League.
Oh, it's so nice and cozy in here. Doesn't the wind sound romantic?
Hello. Prudential?
Harriet, your lipstick smeared. Use my rear view mirror. Hello, Prudential? Life insurance? I have a piece of the rock from my car, too.
Prudential, the company more people trust with their lives, is fast becoming the company people trust with their cars and homes, too. With Prudential, 4 out of 5 claims like these are handled by phone.
That fast. Thanks, Prudential.
This time I'm going to make it go loop-de-loop. Hello, Prudential?
Talk to a Prudential agent for life, health, auto, home.
Get a piece of the rock.
Prudential Insurance.
Well, when they started the day, the Ivy League scramble today had Yale and Brown on top, and it's still that way. Brown had never beaten Dartmouth in official Ivy League competition until today. Brown did it 35-21. Mahalko of Brown, 19 of 29, 314 yards and 4 touchdowns. Yale defeated Princeton 39-7 in their 99th meeting. Princeton has not beaten Yale since '67. Pagliaro of Yale with 3 touchdowns in that game. And Harvard defeated Penn this afternoon. The final score in that Ivy clash was 20-8. And in the battle for the Ivy League basement, Columbia defeated Cornell by a score of 35-17. Well, it was a big day for Joe Paterno. His offense has come alive. He got his 100th coaching victory today. Penn State is assured of a winning season, 38 in a row. That's an NCAA record. The final score today was Penn State 41, North Carolina State 20. And the Naval Academy beat Syracuse 27-10. The hero in this game, a young man by the name of Joe Gattuso of Navy. He rushed for 159 yards, scored twice, and you know who the proudest guy was today? His daddy, who was Navy's leading rusher in 53 and 54 and the hero of the Sugar Bowl game in 1955. Colgate over Bucknell, the score was 24-13. Bill Coleman scored all 3 touchdowns for Massachusetts this afternoon. As Massachusetts defeated Holy Cross, the score in that was 21-14. Warner?
All right, in the Atlantic Coast Conference, Wake Forest and Duke played this afternoon in Durham. Wake Forest has upset Duke 38-17. Freshman running back James McDougal, 142 yards. North Carolina beat Clemson 27-23. Mike Voigt, 3 touchdowns and 161 yards rushing. Tennessee with a touchdown in the final period by Stanley Morgan beat Memphis State 21-14. And in Des Moines, Iowa, Temple, coming off that 31-30 loss last week, beat Drake today 31-7. Speaking of upsets, in Atlanta, Georgia, it was Georgia Tech and Notre Dame. Notre Dame led 14-3. Look at the final. Georgia Tech comes back to win it 23-14. Dave Sims scored twice in the second half. LSU and Alabama played in Birmingham. Johnny Davis scored twice for Alabama, 28-17 Alabama. Also in the Southeast Conference, Kentucky shut out Vanderbilt 14-0. Derek Ramsey gained 118 yards. And Mississippi State beat Auburn 28 20-19. Dave, what about the Midwest?
Well, the Midwest, we have some other Big Ten games. You've told us about Ohio State. You've told us about Michigan. Michigan State. Darryl Rogers, the new coach there with the NCAA recruiting scandal. Michigan State a winner over Indiana 23-0. Eddie Smith hit on his 12th touchdown pass. That's a school record. Indiana didn't get inside the Michigan State 20. Minnesota, 3 touchdowns from Jim Perkins, an easy winner over Northwestern 38-10. The Wildcats, 15 losses in a row, and that's a record. Wisconsin, 38-21 over Iowa. Ira Matthews of the Badgers with a 100-yard kickoff return and another score. In the Big 8, Iowa State defeated Kansas 31-17 in their 56th meeting. Kansas State playing Oklahoma this afternoon. The Sooners, after victory number 6, that looks like they're going to get it. It's 49-20 in the 4th period, and quarterback Tom Lott has scored 3 times, Horace Ivory twice. You never can tell about Missouri. 1 week in, 1 week out. This week they're in. The Missouri Tigers 16, Colorado Buffaloes 7. Now in the Southwest Conference, this is a wild one. Southern Methodist leading Rice in the 4th period 34-20. Kramer, Rice's quarterback, 12 of 17 in the first half, but Art Whittington of SMU has already scored 3 touchdowns. Arkansas has now tied Baylor. They were trailing. The Razorbacks were trailing 7-0. It's tied 7-7 in the 4th period. Now, Houston playing Texas this afternoon, and you know Houston waited a long time to get in the Southwest Conference, and they always said, we want to get Texas. They're getting Texas this afternoon, 23-0. Bill Yeoman's fine team leading the Longhorns of Darrell Royal, 23-0 in the 4th period. In the Pacific 8, California, which has lost 3 in a row, playing at Washington, there is no score in the 2nd period. And this is a Diamond Jubilee meeting between Oregon State, which has won just 1 game, and Washington State, which has won just 2. Oregon State's Beavers lead 10-0 in the 2nd period, and Warner and I will be back with more.
So you see, Charlotte, what I mean... Waiter? Waiter? What I mean, Charlotte, waiter, to have a relationship that's more than just dating, where we can have a house with a big mortgage.
Harold, I don't know.
And kids to support through school.
Harold,
a relationship that lasts and lasts. On Social Security.
I just don't know.
Waiter. Oh, what do you recommend?
Recommend? I recommend the breast of chicken and a piece of the rock.
A piece of the rock. Prudential Insurance. Highly recommended. In fact, in a national survey, when asked which life insurance company they'd recommend, more people recommended Prudential than any other insurance company.
Oh, yes, Harold, I'll marry you.
Champagne for everybody.
Including the waiter.
For life, health, auto, home.
Get a piece of the rock.
Prudential Insurance.
Well, you know, when 2 heavyweights get in the ring to fight, like Lyle and Young, you know our heavyweight will be at ringside. His name, of course, is Howard Cosell. Let's join him right now in San Francisco.
Thank you very much, David. Of course, we're in the Civic Auditorium here in San Francisco, California. Coming up in just a few moments, Ron Lyle, 5th-rated heavyweight against Jimmy Young, 3rd-rated heavyweight. And that, incidentally, will be at 5 o'clock Pacific time for those of you in the West Coast area. With me to do the fight that you'll be seeing so shortly from now, George Foreman, of course, without question, in view of the champion's retirement, the #1 heavyweight in the world today. George, quickly, your assessment of the Lyle-Young fight.
It's a great classic matchup. You got an expert puncher and an expert boxer, and it's bound to be a terrific fight for the fans. You'll see one man try to outsmart the other, and one guy try to avoid the other guy's punches.
And, of course, as we'll develop during the telecast, George knows an awful lot about the strength of that Ron Lyle punch. He felt it often enough to go down at the behest of Lyle's punching power. Quickly, back to Dave Dials.
All right, my man, thank you very much. Ohio U over Bowling Green this afternoon, 31-26. Miami of Ohio stopped Western Michigan's Jerome Purcell and beat the Broncos 31-0. East Stroudsburg made it 18 in a row. 21-6 over Bloomsburg State. Now, that's the longest winning streak in the country, but Northern Michigan can tie that by beating Nebraska-Omaha tonight. Albion, #2 in Division III, an easy winner, 48-14 over Lakeland. Brigham Young and UTEP are 27 all at the half. Gifford Nielsen of Brigham Young Warner has already passed for 303 yards in 1 half.
He's ready for the pros now.
And 4 touchdowns. St. John's beat St. Olaf 29-13. That's a game that some of our regional fans saw today. Southern Illinois over Illinois State 17-3. And Andre Herrera of the Bronx got 184 yards, including a 78-yard touchdown. I think that, Slippery Rock defeated Lock Haven by a score 10-7. We're not allowed to forget that.
All right, never forget that. All right, let's look at the top 10 once again as we go down. It's Michigan upset today. The big score, 16-14, and it has to be the upset of the year, Purdue beating Michigan. Army losing to Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh may be the #1 team in the country. Dorset, 212 yards. UCLA, 24-0 in the second period. Number 4 ranked USC, 14-3 in the second period. Number 5th ranked Texas Tech. There's now 9 seconds left in the game, and it's over. A final. Texas Tech has won it. They remain unbeaten, 14-10. Maryland, 21-0 win. 7th ranked Ohio State, 42-10. No contest there. And number 8th ranked Georgia, which you saw here on ABC, coming from behind to win that game, 41-27. And 9th ranked Nebraska, winning by 4 points over Oklahoma State. And in baseball, certainly a big happening today. Bill Campbell, the fine relief pitcher of the Minnesota Twins, the American League Fireman of the Year. He won 17, saved 20. He was signed today by the Red Sox, a 4-year contract, $1 million, an average of $250,000 per year. So certainly this is one of the big points in baseball with Bill Campbell. And Dave, see you next week between our games of the ABC doubleheader. And stay tuned now for the Lyle Young fight from San Francisco, California. The Prudential College Scoreboard has been brought to you by Prudential. For life, health, auto, or home insurance, when you think about your financial security, see a Prudential agent. Get a piece of the rock. Prudential Insurance. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television.
It's action all the way tonight when a trained assassin targets Starsky and Hutch. Then a police strike force stalks a kidnap ring on Most Wanted. Both tonight, starting at 9, 8 Central and Mountain on ABC.